An island that has the depth of the Black Ops lore in its roots. A chunk of land that has felt the footsteps of Weaver, Hudson, Mason, Steiner, Kravchenko, and even our first operator to come to Black Ops Cold War. A place where huge progression on Nova 6 was made. An area that linked the storyline of our different modes long before Cold War, and that also has a rich background both in-game and in real life. Today, we discuss the history of Rebirth Island. I hope everyone is well and staying safe. If you don't know me, my name is Harley or It's Untold. As I'm sure you are all aware, we just got the first wave of official Season 1 information in. It was confirmed that we will be experiencing this island once again in Warzone and as part of a story arc regarding the new operator and spanning all the way back to Black Ops 1 zombies and campaign stories, and is equally as tied in to the current story threads. To begin, the island of Vozrozhdeniya? Vozrozhdeniya. I gotta do like an accent to think about how to pronounce it. But anyway, it used to be a rather small island, only spanning around 77 square miles or 200 kilometers. Due to the Soviet Union leaving rivers dammed for agricultural projects, it left the sea surrounding the island to slowly dry up throughout time, causing it to be upwards of 890 square miles or 2,300 kilometers, and eventually by 2001 not even being considered an island anymore. But long before all of that, this island was favored by the Red Army that was in search for a nice place to settle down and build whatever they needed to make, test, and produce bioweapons. The only people inhabited there were about 1,500 employees and scientists that worked for the complex built there for the biochemical weaponry, all of which abandoned the island as a whole due to an accidental release of weaponized smallpox in 1971, which has since left the island a ghost town. A perfect spot for a battle royale in a video game, don't you think? Not to mention the multitude of ties it already actually has to the Black Ops storyline, which I haven't even begun to dig into. Just like in real life, sure enough, there's the same bio-warfare facility in the canon of the story in-game. They tested on a lot of the same weaponized viruses such as anthrax, the bubonic plague, and uniquely to the game, Nova 6. The Nova 6 chemical, as I'm sure you guys might have heard of before, and its predecessors were created in Germany by a scientist you may know that goes by the name of Dr. Friedrich Steiner. He's an ex-Nazi who after World War II bargained with the Soviet Union for his life using his expertise and knowledge as the bargaining chip. This would succeed, and his work would begin on Rebirth Island, where he will help create more Nova gas and attempt to help Dragovich disperse it all across the US. Though he would ultimately fail, he was still a big integral part of the Black Ops 1 campaign, and so was Nova 6 as a whole. And as I'm sure you guys know, Nova 6 also played a huge part in the zombies storyline as well regarding maps like Kino der Toten and Alpha Omega, where it would make the Nova 6 crawlers. Not to be confused with Nova 5, which we actually have available to us in D Machina, which is one of the upgrades for the die, and I believe it's the cause for the Megaton and the dogs within the map. But back to Nova 6, it's what places us at the scene of Rebirth Island in Black Ops 1. Hudson and Weaver, and yes Weaver, the big old baddie that's in zombies now, yeah that one. Anyway, they reach the facility and Steiner once again bargains for his life with his knowledge and information, telling Hudson and Weaver that if they can retrieve him and get him away safely, he will give them information and tell them how to stop Dragovich's plan to disperse it across the US altogether, as he was just worried that Dragovich was going to off him just to cut some loose ends, which was very likely to happen. Therefore, he was concerned for his life, and that's why he ended up offering to help the enemy once again. Though, upon actually getting to the facility, Mason sneaks in. Our Mason, you know, the numbers Mason, what do they mean? That Mason beats him to it, sneaks in the facility, finds Steiner, and through his crazy ass shenanigans that we all know and love through BO1, thinks that Reznov is killing Steiner, but in reality, Mason himself beats the crap out of Steiner and shoots him in the head. And that's the end of the creator of Nova 6. Hudson and Weaver show up last second, right after Steiner is dead, tackle Mason to the ground, but not before Mason shoots Weaver in the leg. And at the same time, it's being explained to Mason through the interrogation cutscenes that Reznov was not there, and it's kind of the turning point of him figuring out that he's basically batshit crazy because of what happened to him. And all in all, just in that one singular mission, there is so much depth added to that island. And now, this year, we are getting more lore added to that singular island. And that begins with Russell Adler and Viktor Kuzmin. Vikor Kuzmin, aka Stitch, was assigned to manage production facilities on Rebirth Island and reported directly to Kravchenko. The CIA actually raided that facility, obviously, when Hudson, Mason, and Weaver all showed up. Kuzmin was actually captured and interrogated by them, and later interrogated by Russell Adler. Adler didn't just interrogate him, though. Shown in the new trailer, he literally cut my man's eye out. But through all of that interrogation, all the Stitch ever gave up was his rank and name. Kravchenko later stripped him of his rank for failing to repel the CIA operation, and sent him to the Gulag, ironically enough. So all of this actually works really well with the Warzone and zombie storyline. After 2 years in the Gulag, he was contacted by Perseus. With Stitch's hatred for both Kravchenko and Adler, Perseus's vision of a greater Russia didn't seem too bad to him whatsoever. Perseus, by the way, is the main antagonist of the Cold War campaign, which I have yet to play, which is why I'm not really giving too much info on him, because I don't want any spoilers for whether or not he ends up dead. Little things like that, you know. And so Kuzmin makes use of his Nova 6 knowledge and puts it to work for Perseus. This is new lore being added to the island, which is really cool, and it's being integrated from all sides of the spectrum. Multiplayer maps have to do with a lot of intel for both the campaign and zombies. This island's very integral to the zombie storyline, as well as our characters we'll be using within the game. And everything we talked about today was somehow, in some way, shape, or form, a result of Rebirth Island and the activities that were done on the island. So now that this is going to be a new Warzone map, and there's a new operator whose story basically originates from this island, I thought it'd be a good idea to just do some research on the island and kind of get it out there, since there's going to be so much going on with this island and we have a good chunk of history with it. So if you guys did enjoy this video, if you appreciate the research I put into it, I would equally appreciate a like on the video, and go ahead and leave a comment down below. Add to the discussion. If there's anything I missed or anything you have to add, let me know in the comments. But thank you guys so much for stopping by. Thank you for taking the time out of the day to watch the video, and I will see you guys in the next one.
So tell me how you really feel now, what you think I want.